وزارة التربية السورية، الصف الثاني الثانوي الأدبي، مادة اللغة الإنكليزية، كتاب الأنشطة. تقديمات مبادرة ضوء بصوت المتطوعة عبير مير. يغطي هذا التسجيل الوحدة الأولى Getting Together. اختبار التقدم 1، أي الصفحات من صفحة 19 وحتى الصفحة 21. Module 1 Getting Together. Progress Test 1. Reading Section. سنقوم بقراءة نص وترجمة مقاطعه ومن ثم الإجابة على بعض الأسئلة المتعلقة به. 1. Passing your driving test. Some simple advice. اجتياز امتحان القيادة الخاص بك. بعض النصائح البسيطة. Talk to people who have taken their test recently. Get them to tell you about their experience and ask them for their advice. Read about what to expect in the test. You can find useful books in libraries and articles on internet websites. تحدث إلى الأشخاص الذين قاموا بامتحان القيادة مؤخراً. اجعلهم يخبرونك عن تجربتهم واطلب منهم بعض المشورة. اقرأ عن ما يجب أن تتوقعه من الامتحان. يمكنك إيجاد كتب مفيدة في المكتبات ومقالات مفيدة على مواقع الإنترنت. Don't book your driving test until you feel confident. If you don't feel confident, ask your driving instructor for more practice. لا تحجز لامتحان القيادة حتى تكون واثقاً. إن لم تكن تشعر بالثقة، اطلب من مدرب القيادة أن يدربك أكثر. Try to get a good night's sleep before the day of the test. Don't worry if you feel nervous. This can help you concentrate on your driving. حاول أخذ قسط جيد من النوم في اليوم الذي يسبق الامتحان. لا تقلق إذا كنت تشعر بالتوتر. إن هذا يمكن أن يساعدك على التركيز على قيادتك. On the day of the test, arrive at the test center early. Give yourself plenty of time to relax and prepare yourself mentally. Turn off your mobile phone. The last thing you want is for someone to phone you just before or actually during the test. صل باكراً إلى مركز الامتحان في يوم الامتحان. امنح نفسك وقتاً كافياً للاسترخاء وتحضير نفسك بشكل ذهني. أطفئ هاتفك النقال. إن آخر ما تريده هو أن يتصل بك أحدهم تماماً قبل أو أثناء الامتحان. During the test, drive normally. Everybody makes a few mistakes when they're driving, so don't try to drive perfectly. If you don't understand something that the driving examiner tells you to do, ask him or her to tell you again. في أثناء الامتحان، قد بشكل اعتيادي. الجميع يقومون ببعض الأخطاء أثناء القيادة، فلا تحاول أن تقود بشكل مثالي. إذا كنت لم تفهم شيئاً قد طلبه منك مختبر القيادة، اطلب منه أو منها أن يخبرك مجدداً. If you make a mistake, forget about it and go on driving as well as you can. You won't fail because of one or two small mistakes. And if you fail, don't get upset. Most learners have to take their test 2 or 3 times before they pass. إذا قمت بارتكاب خطأ، انسه وقم بإكمال قيادتك بشكل جيد. لن ترسب بسبب خطأ أو خطأين صغيرين. وإذا رسبت فلا تنزعج. معظم متعلمي القيادة يقومون بإجراء الامتحان مرة أو مرتين أو 3 قبل أن ينجحوا. 2. Answer these questions. A. How can people who have taken a test already help you? الإجابة: You can ask them for their advice. B. Where can you find written information about taking a driving test? الإجابة: You can find them in libraries and articles on internet websites. C. What should you do if you don't feel confident about taking the test? الإجابة: Ask your driving instructor for more practice. D. How can feeling nervous help you when you take the test? الإجابة: It can help you concentrate on your driving. E. Why should you try to arrive at the test center with time to spare? الإجابة: To give yourself plenty of time to relax and prepare yourself mentally. F. How should you try to drive during the test? الإجابة: Drive normally. G. What should you do if you don't understand something you are told during the test? الإجابة: Ask him or her to tell you again. H. How many times do most people have to take the test before they pass? الإجابة: 2 or 3 times. Grammar and Vocabulary Section. الجزء المتعلق بالقواعد والمفردات. 1. Choose the correct verbs in the story. Sometimes both verbs are possible. سنقوم بقراءة نص. ستعترضنا في النص بعض الأقواس التي يتواجد فيها فعلان يجب أن نختار أحدهما في حال كان واحد فقط هو الصحيح أو الاثنين إذا كان كليهما صحيحين. النص بعنوان Where's my car? After work yesterday, my father went to get his car from the car park. He took the lift to the 3rd story as usual, but he بين قوسين could أو couldn't find his car. الإجابة الصحيحة couldn't. Then he remembered that the 3rd story had been full in the morning, and he'd had to go to the next story. He went up the stairs to the 4th story and could أو managed to find his car straight away. الإجابة managed to. When he tried to get in, he couldn't أو wasn't able to unlock the door. الإجابة الصحيحة couldn't أو wasn't able to. Then he realized that he was trying to get into the wrong car. It was the same color as his, but it had a different number. Eventually, he found his car and managed to أو was able to open the door and get in. الإجابة الصحيحة كلاهما صحيحان. Managed to أو was able to. But then he couldn't أو didn't manage to start the engine. الإجابة الصحيحة couldn't. He telephoned the breakdown service and they said they could أو were able to come immediately. الإجابة الصحيحة كلاهما صحيحان. Could أو were able to. In fact, it took them over half an hour to arrive because they couldn't أو weren't able to find the car park. الإجابة الصحيحة couldn't. As soon as they arrived, they repaired the car, which meant that my father could أو managed to start the car and drive home. الإجابة الصحيحة could. التمرين الثاني. Rewrite these sentences as third conditional sentences using if. يطلب من السؤال إعادة صياغة الجمل التالية لتصبح جملة شرطية بالصيغة الثالثة باستعمال if. A. Ahmad got up late because his alarm clock didn't go off. الإجابة: If his alarm clock had gone off, Ahmad wouldn't have got up late. B. He got up late, so his taxi got stuck in heavy traffic on the way to the airport. الإجابة: If he hadn't got a plate, his taxi wouldn't have got stuck in heavy traffic on the way to the airport. C. Because his taxi got stuck in heavy traffic, he didn't catch his flight. الإجابة: If his taxi hadn't got stuck in heavy traffic, he would have caught his flight. D. He missed his flight, so he had to wait at the airport. الإجابة: If he hadn't missed the flight, he wouldn't have had to wait at the airport. E. While he waited at the airport, he met an old school friend. الإجابة: If he hadn't waited at the airport, he wouldn't have met an old school friend. التمرين الثالث. 3. Choose the best words in these sentences. A. He spoke so quickly that I found it very difficult أو impossible to understand what he meant. الإجابة الصحيحة difficult أي تصبح الجملة He spoke so quickly that I found it very difficult to understand what he meant. B. You look absolutely exhausted أو tired. I hope you haven't been going off أو going without sleep again. الإجابة الصحيحة exhausted في الجملة الأولى و going without في الجملة الثانية أي تصبح الجملة You look absolutely exhausted. I hope you haven't been going without sleep again. C. The children were absolutely أو very terrified by the storm. It went off أو went on for hours. الإجابة الصحيحة absolutely في الجملة الأولى و went on في الجملة الثانية أي تصبح الجملة The children were absolutely terrified by the storm. It went on for hours. D. This time the space shuttle أو station made an absolutely perfect أو good landing. الإجابة الصحيحة space shuttle في الجملة الأولى و perfect في الجملة الثانية أي تصبح الجملة This time the space shuttle made an absolutely perfect landing. E. The artist أو composer painted a very big أو enormous painting. الإجابة الصحيحة artist في الجزء الأول و big في الجزء الثاني أي تصبح الجملة The artist painted a very big painting. التمرين الرابع. 4. Complete sentences from A to F with the correct form of the word in capitals at the end of each line. A. الكلمة التي يجب استخدام أحد صيغها similar. الجملة There is a very strong space between me and my brother. الإجابة الصحيحة similarity أي تصبح الجملة There is a very strong similarity between me and my brother. B. الكلمة هي tradition. الجملة In many countries, the space way of traveling is by horse or camel. الإجابة الصحيحة traditional أي تصبح الجملة In many countries, the traditional way of traveling is by horse or camel. C. الكلمة هي different. الجملة There is a great space in temperature between Africa and Europe. الإجابة الصحيحة difference أي تصبح الجملة There is a great difference in temperature between Africa and Europe. D. الكلمة هي produce. الجملة oil space will be increased next year. الإجابة الصحيحة production أي تصبح الجملة oil production will be increased next year. E. الكلمة discover. الجملة Scientists have made important new space about the universe. الإجابة الصحيحة discoveries أي تصبح الجملة Scientists have made important new discoveries about the universe.
F. الكلمة brave. الجملة: The firefighters who rescued people from the building showed great space. الإجابة الصحيحة bravery. أي تصبح الجملة: The firefighters who rescued people from the building showed great bravery. نهاية Progress Test 1 ونهاية التسجيل.